Good morning, children. Last session, I have discussed about the various criteria which are used for the classification of animals. And today, I am going to discuss with you about the classification of kingdom Animalia. Okay, how to classify the animals based on the criteria we have discussed in the last session. Okay, so let's enter into the classification of kingdom Animalia. Actually, kingdom Animalia are divided into various phyla, that is, phylum Porifera, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Aschelmanthus, Platyhelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, and Chordata. Like this, like that, animals are classified into various kingdoms, children. Let's see one by one through our text. Animal kingdom is divided into two subkingdom, that is Parazoa and Eumetazoa, based on their organization. Okay, what is Parazoa? What is Eumetazoa? Parazoa, these include the multicellular sponges and their cells are loosely aggregated and do not form tissues or organs. Okay, you know, children, cells are the basic and functional unit of the life. Okay, when cells combine together form a tissues together form organs together form organ system, organ system together form a whole organisms, right? Okay, so sorry, whole organism, right? So here in Parazoa, the organisms present in the Parazoa under subkingdom Parazoa all are made up of many cells, that is multicellular organisms only. But the thing is what? The cells are not together form a tissues in these phylums. Okay, the cells in the organisms in this phylum has multicellular organisms, but it does not show a tissue grade of organization. That means the cells are loosely arranged. They are not tightly packed. They are loosely arranged. Okay, so that is called what? Parazoa. These include multicellular sponges, example sponges here, and their cells are loosely aggregated and do not form tissues or organs. Okay, what is Eumetazoa? These include multicellular animals with well-defined tissues which are organized as organs and organ systems. Eumetazoans includes two taxonomic levels called grades. They include radiata and bilateria. Okay, Eumetazoa here the multicellular animals with well-defined tissues. These tissues are organized to form organs and organ system. Here in Eumetazoan, it includes two levels. These two levels are grades. The two grades are called radiata and bilateria. So let's see about grade 1 radiata. Among the Eumetazoa, a few animals have an organization of two layers of cells, the outer ectoderm and inner endoderm, separated by a jelly-like mesoglea. They are radially symmetrical and are diploplastic. Example, Cnidarian and Ctenophora. And what is bilateria? Eumetazoan other than radiata show an organ level of organization and are bilaterally symmetrical, triploplastic. The great bilateria include two taxonomic level called divisions. Okay, so here what they are trying to say, Eumetazoa, that is animal kingdom divided into two subdivisions, children, subkingdom. Parazoa, Eumetazoa. Under Parazoa, animals are made up of many cells but does not show any tissue grade of organization. This is the characters of Parazoa. And next Eumetazoa. Eumetazoa, here the animals are multicellular with well-defined tissues, organs and organ system. Okay, and this is further divided into two grades. One is bilateria and another one is radiata. So in radiata, the animals of the radiata possess two germ layers, outer ectoderm and inner endoderm, with mesoglea in between them. and it is bilaterally symmetrical animals. The animals in this phyla are bilaterally symmetrical, right? So these are called bilateria. When you example Cnidaria and Ctenophora, and other than Radiata, they are other animals are called what? Bilateria, which show an organ level of organization, bilaterally symmetrical and triploplastic animal. The great bilateria include two taxonomic levels called divisions. Division 1, Protostomia, and another one is Deuterostomia. What is Protostomia? Proto means first, stomia means mouth. What is deuteron? Deuterostomia. Deuteron means secondary, stomia means mouth. Okay, what does it say? Let's see. Protostomia include the eumetazoans in which embryonic blastobosts develop into mouth. This division include three subdivisions, namely Acylometa, Pseudocoelometa and Zygocoelometa. Okay, what is protostomia? See, children, during sexual reproduction, zygote, that is male gamete, female gamete, fuse to form zygote, and zygote develop into young one through various stages of embryonic development, right? Among this, one stage is gastrula. What is gastrula? The gastrula is a three-layered germ layer, ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. So, this during this gastrula stage, the embryonic layers invade to form a archenteron, and its tip is the tip of the archenteron is called blastopore. When the blastopore develop into mouth, when the blastopore develop into mouth, and these are called the animals are called protostomia. That means the animals. The animal group in which the blastopores develop into mouth are coming under what? Protostomia. The division, what are the animals coming under the protostomia? All acylomatic animals, pseudocoelomatic animal and zygocoelomatic animals are coming under the division protostomia. Next, deuterostomia. Eumetazoan in which anus is formed from or near the blastopore and mouth is formed away from the blastopore. It includes only one subdivision, enterocoelomate. They have a true coelom called enterocoel formed from the archenteron. Okay, so what here they are trying to say, in protostomia we have seen that during embryonic development the blastopore develop into mouth, but in deuterostomia during embryonic development the blastopore develop into anus, and next to only the mouth is formed. That is, mouth is formed secondary. That's what it is called what? Deuterostomia. It includes only one subdivision, that is eucoelomate. They have a true coelom called enterocoel formed from the archenteron. And then non-chordate is, you see children, what is non-chordate? What is chordate first then? Chordate means what? The animal which possess notochord in their lifetime, any of the lifetime, is called chordate. Okay, the animals which possess notochord in any of the stage of life cycle, then the organisms are said to be what? Chordate. If the animal does not possess notochord, they are coming under non-chordate, right? That is otherwise called as invertebrata. Let's see, this invertebrata include many phylums. Phylum Porifera, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Asalminthes, Annelid, Arthropod, Echinodermata, Mollusca. All these phylum are coming under the non-chordate group or invertebrata. Okay, let's see about the first phylum Porifera. These pore bearing animals are commonly called sponges. Okay, but why this phylum are named as Porifera? Because the animals in this group bears pores in their body. That's what this phylum was named as what? Porifera. These pore bearing animals are commonly called sponges. They are aquatic, mostly marine, asymmetrical, and few species live in fresh water. Okay. Then they are primitive multicellular sessile animals with a cellular level of organization in which the cells are loosely arranged. Okay, next thing, primitive. that is very first evaluated organism, that is called what? Primitive. Okay, whether it is unicellular or multicellular. What is multicellular? Made up of many cells. Sessile. What is sessile? There is an opposite word, motile. Sessile opposite motile. Motile means showing movement. Sessile means what? Does not show any movement. So the animals of this phylum are fixed on a substratum. It cannot move from one place to another place. And cellular level of organization, as already I have discussed with you, the since in sponges the cells are loosely arranged, it won't show any tissue grade of organization, right? So it shows a cellular level of organization since the cells are loosely arranged. They are either radially symmetrical or asymmetrical animal. Symmetry means what? Dividing the organism into two equal halves, we can say, or arrangement of organs on the on either side of the axial plane or around the axial plane. According to that, we can classify the animals into two types. One is radially symmetrical and asymmetrical animal. Bilaterally symmetrical animal. Yeah, under Porifera, animals which are either radially symmetrical or asymmetrical. There is no bilaterally symmetrical animals, right? Next one. See the animals of the phylum Porifera: Cycon, Hyalonema, Chalina, Euplectella, or the animals which are examples for Porifera. And one peculiar character which is present only in the animals of phylum Porifera is water canal system or water transport system, where water enters through a minute pores called ostia lining the body wall, through which the water enters into a central cavity called spongocoel and goes out through the osculum. Okay, see what is water canal system? Like our mouth and anus. Okay, so mouth and anus are connected. Imagine mouth and anus are connected with a tube. Okay, like a structure you can imagine. So in Porifera, the water enters through a mouth-like structure called ostia, and it passes through a cavity called spongocoel, and then it move out through a osculum. Okay. So this water canal system, which is present only in the phylum Porifera, and then this water transport system is helpful in the food gathering, circulation, respiration, and removal of waste. Choanocytes or colocell or special flagellated cells lining the spongocoel and canals. The body is supported by a skeleton made up of calcareous and siliceous spicules or spongin or both. Okay, so like us, our body has endoskeleton and which support the erect posture of their body. Same way, the external structure of sponge's body are covered with a calcareous siliceous spicules or spongin, or made up of both spicules or spongin. And what about nutrition? Nutrition are holozoic and intracellular. What is holozoic? That is, the sponges inhale the microbes as whole, and this is called what? Holozoic, and digestion takes place within the cell and it is called intracellular. All sponges are hermaphrodites. What does mean by hermaphrodites? Both male and female sex organs are present in the same animal. That is, the ova and sperm are produced by the same individual. That is called as hermaphrodite. They also reproduce asexually by fragmentation or gemule formation, sexually by formation of gamete. So both type of reproduction have seen in the sponges, such as asexual and sexual. Development is indirect with the different types of larval stages, such as parenchymal larva and ambiblastula larva. So then what is there are two type of development. One is direct development, another one is indirect development. What is direct development? In direct development, the young one, it look like the adult organism. The young one look like the adult organism. But in indirect development, the young one does not like the adult one. Okay, it is entirely different from the adult. Example given is what? What is the example given is here? I want to given to you for this. No, see, you take an example of frog. You know the what it is. Larval stage of frog, tadpole. Tadpole is the larval stage of frog. This tadpole is entirely different from the structure of adult frog, right? So through various stages only it can be transformed into what? Adult frog. So, and this type of development is called indirect development. Okay, so here the phylum shows indirect development. This phylum shows indirect development, and the larvae involved in this are parenchyma and ambiblastula are the larvae involved in this. Example, Sycon, Spongilla, Euspongia and Euplectella are the example, and common names also given in the bracket, children. Please go through it. So then next, phylum Cnidaria I am going to enter. Phylum Cnidaria. Cnidaria were previously called Coelenterata, and aquatic sessile, you know very well what is aquatic sessile, all free swimming. See, in Porifera all the animals are sessile only, but in Cnidaria both sessile as well as free swimming also there. Solitary or colonial forms. What is solitary or colonial forms? Solitary, living in single. Colonial means what? Living in group, and form a radial symmetry except for sea anemones. Okay, so all the animals of this phylum are radially symmetrical. Only one exception, that is sea anemones, which shows bilateral symmetry. The name Cnidaria is derived from cnidocyte or cnidoplast with stinging cells or nematocyst on tentacles. See, why this phylum named as Cnidaria? Because of the cells called cnidocytes or cnidoplast, where it is present. These are present on the tentacles of this phylum animals. Okay, these cnidarians possess a special type of cells called cnidoplast, which are called as stinging cells. Okay, and what is the function of cnidoplast? Which help for the anchorage, defense, and to capture the prey. Cnidarians are the first group of animals to exhibit tissue level organization and or diploplastic animals. Okay, as we have discussed in the previous phylum, Porifera shows a cellular level of organization only. It does not show tissue grade of organization. So phylum Cnidoplast shows the first tissue level of organization. Okay, and it is a diploplastic animal. Central vascular cavity or coelentron are present. Digestion and its function is circulation and digestive in function. With a single opening called mouth or hypostome, it does not possess any anus, only one opening in the anterior region, and this is called what? Hypostome or mouth. And about digestion, what is the function of hypostome? Which serves the process of ingestion and egestion. Both ingestion and egestion has taken place through this mouth or hypostome only. Digestion is both extracellular and intracellular. So digestion is both extra and intracellular digestion. That is, digestion taken place within the cell as well as outside the cell. The nervous system is primitive, formed by diffused nerve net. Cnidarians like corals have a skeleton made up of calcium carbonate. In previous phylum we have discussed that it is exoskeleton is made up of spicule, isn't it? Calcareous spicules. Like that here it is the skeleton is made up of calcium carbonate. Cnidarians exhibit two basic body form, polyp and medusa. Polyp forms are sessile and cylindrical. Example, Hydra and Adamsia. And then next one is what about medusae? Medusa, whereas the medusa or umbrella shaped, not a cylindrical shape, umbrella shape, and it is not a sessile, it is a free swimming. Cnidarians which exist in both forms also exhibit alternation of generation in their life. Some cnidarians possess both polyp and medusiform in their life cycle as an alternative generation. So polyp develop into medusa, medusa develop into polyp, like that it shows alternation. Such a kind of alternation of life cycle is called metagenesis. The polyp represent the asexual generation and medusa represent the sexual generation. That is polyp produce asexual reproduction and medusa produce sexual reproduction, and polyps produce medusa sexually and medusa form polyps polyps produce medusa asexually and medusa form polyps sexually. Development is indirect and includes a free swimming ciliated planula larva. So development is as like a porifera, indirect, that means it include larval stage in its life cycle. Example, Physalia, common name Portuguese man of war, one Marcosin, Adamsia sea anemone. It is a bilateral, it is the only animal which shows bilaterally symmetrical in this phylum. Pennatula, sea pen, Mendrina, brain coral. Phylum, next one is we are going to enter phylum Ctenophora. Ctenophora are exclusively marine. That is which phylum are exclusively marine? Ctenophora. Radially symmetrical, diploplastic animal with the tissue level of organization. So hope you are clear with this sentence as I discussed with you in the previous phylum. Though they are diploplastic, their mesoglea is different from that of Cnidaria. So both Cnidaria also diploplastic and Ctenophora also what? Diploplastic. Both, though they are diploplastic, both they have mesoglea, but both the mesoglias are different from each other. It contains amoebocytes and smooth muscle cells. They have 8 external row of ciliated home plates which help in locomotion, hence commonly called what? Home jellies or sea walnuts. Then bioluminescence, it is a very important thing. Bioluminescence, that is ability of living organism to emit light is well marked in Ctenopause. So the animals of Ctenopause only possess the sense of bioluminescence, that is ability to emit the light. They lack a nematocyst, but nematocysts are present in the Cnidarians. It is absent in Ctenophora. Possess apical cell called lasso cells or caloplast, which help in food capture. Digestion is both extracellular and intracellular. Sexes are not separate. They reproduce only by sexual means, no asexual reproduction. Fertilization is external. Development is indirect. That is, it includes larval stage. What are the larval stage? Ctipit larva is the larval form of this phylum. And example, Pleurobrachia and Ctenoplana are the example of this phylum. Okay, children. Next is a phylum Platyhelminthes. Children, I'll stop today's session. I'll stop with this phylum Ctenophora, and the homework is learn about the phylum Porifera and Ctenophora. Okay, so these are the homework for you children. Complete it and keep it ready. Okay, I'll meet you in my next class. Bye.